done, everybody, for logging into this leadership session called NeX Grow as we cover a leadership mastery series. It's a privilege and pleasure of mine to be here on this call to share with you the insights that I learned, the knowledge that I learned, and the teachings that I've learned from many of the mentors in my life. A big thank you to our interpreters on the call today. This call is being interpreted in multiple languages. So thank you so much for what you're doing. And I really hope that I can speak as slow as possible to get the call up and running. Okay, so let's get started. If you've been on this call in the past calls so far, the leadership sessions and the mastery sessions, this session is for you if you have a need to become a leader, not just in business, but also in business and life. So if you're on this call right now, keep an open mind because I am talking and I'm going to be speaking about you becoming a leader in life and in business. Okay, so the actual book that I use to base my learnings upon is the book that I find is the best book on leadership, and that is the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. And we covered different laws already in the last few sessions, and today we'll be continuing that series. So if you remember, the first law was the law of the lid. The second law was the law of influence. What are the characteristics that you need to have influence over the people that you lead? We then covered the third law called the law of process, the three simple elements of you having a process. And the last session was about the law of navigation. How do you become an effective navigator to increase the leadership in your team? And today we're going to be covering the fifth law, which is the law of addition. Now, I remember one of the very first things that you learn as a young child or young student, before you learn multiplication, before you learn division, before you learn subtraction, the first lessons in math that you learn once you understand numbers is addition. And this is a law in leadership, the law of addition. Especially as you are a leader in life and business, you are going to be connecting with people. A leader is not somebody who is alone, who is lonely. A leader is someone who has got people following him or her. And every time you have an interaction with somebody, remember this in life, every single time that you have an interaction with somebody, a meeting with somebody, that can be a meeting with your team member, that can be a meeting with your colleague at work, that can be a meeting with one of your family members, that can be a meeting with any person in your association. One of two things will always happen. There will either be an addition or there will be a subtraction. If you meet a friend, when you finish that meeting, there's always going to be in your life either an addition or a subtraction. And that's the case. And I remember in one of the laws that I will be talking about, law of association, your life will become the most meaningful only if you fill it with people who add and not subtract. And so in leadership, the whole concept is a leader is someone who continuously adds, who continuously increases, who continuously raises the level. A leader is someone who follows the law of addition. Now, how I interpret addition, and from the books that I've read and from the mentors who've taught me, it all comes down to the law of addition, comes down to this amazing concept that I call canny. C-A-N-I. Now, what is canny? It is constant and never ending improvement. Constant and never ending improvement. As a leader, if you want to fulfill the law of addition, you have to be someone who is an individual who constantly improves, never ending. There is no goalpost or there is no achievement point that you can reach where you can imagine, I have done it all. I have reached my goal as a leader. Because a leader can never stop improving if he or she has to be an effective leader. Now, you ask me the question, what is improvement? It's very simple. Improvement is adding value. The meaning of improvement is very simple, adding value. Now, who do you add value to? And that's what the law of addition is all about. And to start off, the very first one, I'd like to start off with a story. And it's a story that comes from Hindu mythology. Now, you see, I come from a country, an amazing country called India. And India, the biggest religion in India is a religion called Hinduism. And there's a lot of mythology and a lot of powerful stories in Hindu mythology. And one of the books that I would recommend you to read. Now, you see, I'm a Christian. You might be a Muslim. It doesn't matter. But the book called Bhagavad Gita. And the Bhagavad Gita and a lot of books on Hindu mythology is absolutely amazing. And this is a story that I read from one of the Hindu mythological books. A very powerful story. And it's the story that, let me write a text in the chat. Okay. Hindu mythology. It's there on the screen. If you look at the image, Hindu mythology, that is what it's called. If you search on it, you will see Hindu mythology. So this is a story from one of the books on Hindu mythology that I read that I would like to share with you. It's a story of two farmers. Now, you know farmers? I say people who have one of the most important jobs in the world. They are individuals who grow food, grow things for us to eat. So two farmers, they got very old and they died. They passed away. Now in Hindu mythology, they believe in a concept called reincarnation. Now for the interpreters who can't understand that, that means in Hindu mythology, they believe that when you die, based on how you lived your life in this world, you will be born again, and if you did good, you can be born again as a better life, and if you did bad, you will come back again another life with a worse life. That's called reincarnation. Okay, I'm simplifying the term. So if you do good in this life, you'll be given another life, you come back as good. And if you did bad in this life, you come back in the next life, maybe not as a human being, maybe as an animal who suffers. So that is reincarnation. So two farmers, poor, very poor farmers who didn't have a lot of great things in life, two farmers, they die and they meet God. And God says, I'm going to give you reincarnation. I'm going to give you a chance to be going back again to live in the next life. Tell me what you want. So the first farmer said, my life was horrible. I had a poor life. I worked all my life. All my hard work went to other people. All that I did in all my life, other people enjoyed. I had a disgusting life. I had a life most probably like an animal, like my donkey. So in my next life, give me a life where all my life I don't have to give people anything, but people will give me every single day. So in my next life, give me a life where I don't need to give anything, but people give me every single day. Okay. The next farmer said, my life was tough as well. I had a very difficult life. However, I was content with what I had. And what I loved the most was, even though my life was hard, even though I didn't have a lot of money, but not a single human being who came to my door went back empty handed. So that gave me the most joy in life. So in my next life, make me someone that can keep on giving every single day of our life. God said, okay. And God granted their wishes. The first farmer, he was given a new life in the world. And his wish was to keep on getting. So God made him a beggar. A beggar who used to beg every day, that people kept on giving him things. That is how he lived. The second farmer, God made him a wealthy person, that every single day he had enough in abundance that he could give and give and give to other people, that other people saw him as a hero, as an amazing human being. You see, it's a very powerful story, my friends. And the law of addition simply means this. Number one is constant and never-ending improvement. Adding value. To whom? Adding value to others. If you want to be a successful business leader, the only way you can do it is by adding value to other people on a day-by-day basis. If you want to be a regional vice president, if you think that you can do it just on your own, that's not going to happen. If you want to be an executive team leader, you have to give more importance to making the people in your team executive team leaders. If you want to become a regional vice president, the only way you can do that is by making sure you make somebody else in your team a regional vice president. You know, when I first came into the corporate world, After my university, I completed engineering and I went into management. And the corporate world where I was working was very different. If I was to help somebody else, that would have been dangerous for me. Because if I trained somebody and gave them all my knowledge in my job, that person would have taken my job. So my culture in the corporate world was, don't help others, help yourself. Because if you help other people, they will take your job. But when I came into this amazing industry that we are in, I love the fact that the higher I need to go, the more people I need to help. Isn't that amazing? The leaders in our company have reached the highest positions. The only reason that they're there is because they helped a lot of people achieve positions. And the way they did that is by adding value to other people. Now, when I went to Italy, I remember having leadership sessions, and there's in Italy we have a very big deaf community, and and whenever I go to talk or whenever I go to speak, they always hire an interpreter who listens to what I say, and the interpreter actually uses sign language to explain what I am saying. And I remember noticing one thing one sign language that I really like and I really caught my eye. And it was about this fact, about adding value to others. And the word was serve or service. Adding value to others simply mean you're serving other people. Now, in sign language, how do you say serving other people? And this is how you do it. I'll show it to you. Is opening your palms and doing this. That means you're serving other people, so other people serve you. You're helping other people, so other people help you. You're respecting other people, so that other people respect you. And that is the secret of adding value to other people. All your life, you are taught, I need to get everything done for myself, myself, myself. And in fact, leadership, in my favorite book, all right, the leader talks about servant leadership, where the leader washes the feet of the disciples who follow him. Very few people today do that. Many few leaders do that. A lot of leaders today is all about being proud and being aggressive and being very, you know, um, just being egotistical. And if you look at some of our leaders, it makes me sick. But real leadership is servant leadership. And the day you recognize that, that's when you will become a leader. Not just in business, even in life. I know what, I have a lot of friends who tell me they're married, okay? They're married, and one of their number one complaints about their wife, okay, is that my wife doesn't respect me. Have you had that? Have you had any of your friends telling you, my wife doesn't respect me, my husband doesn't respect me? That's one of the biggest complaints. If you look at a lot of issues in marriage happen because of lack of respect. And I always say this, if you want respect from your wife, it's simple. Respect her. If you want love from your wife, simple. Love her. If you want respect from your children, simple. Respect them. If you want honor from your husband, simple. Honor him. That is the law of addition, the number one rule. So when you build your business, Respect your new person. A new person. You might be a top leader in the business or a top leader in our company, but treat the new person as the next senior vice president and give that respect. Treat them, serve them. Guess what? They will start to serve you. The more you give, the more you get. And I was always believe this. If servant leadership is beneath you, or if you think that serving others is beneath you, then leadership is not for you. Think about this every single day. Are you adding value to your team members? Are you adding value to your family members? Are you adding value to your friends? And if you're not, you're reducing your leadership because you're not following the law of addition. Now, as a child, I was somebody who was always addicted or amazed by superhero movies and superhero characters in comic books. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Captain America, you name it, Iron Man, Spider-Man. All of these are heroes, superheroes. If you look at the word hero, the actual root of the word hero comes from ancient Greek, and the root meaning of the word hero is servant to others. Somebody who serves somebody else is a hero. You watching me, you can be a hero. You can be a leader. Very simple. Stop thinking about yourself. Think about the next human being that you can serve. Think about your team member. Think about your family member. Think about your work colleague. Think about all the people around you. Serve them. Guess what? You will get. Because if your hand is closed, you will not receive anything. Open your hand. You'll start to receive. Open your heart. You'll start to receive. Open your house. You'll start to receive. And treat them. Give them what you want, and they will give you what you want. Give enough people, Zig Ziglar said this, give enough people what they want, then they will give you what you want. So the law of addition is simply the first law of addition of constant and never-ending improvement, is adding value to others. The second one is another story. And again, a very powerful story. And this happened in Europe. And it's about the story of two woodcutters, or they say lumberjacks, people who cut wood, cut the trees, and they sell the wood and they make money. And they had a competition of woodcutters in that town. And finally, two people were the best woodcutters in that town. And the two woodcutters had a competition of who would be best. So the day arrived, they had their axes, and they had a time of 6 hours. Who would cut the most amount of wood in 6 hours? Now, one of the woodcutter was big and strong and hefty. His name was Jack. The second woodcutter was strong but a medium man. His name was Peter. So Jack, the strong woodcutter, the very big bulky man, and Peter, the ordinary man, they went to their different areas. They started to cut wood. Jack, the strong guy, went straight in, cutting wood. Bang, 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 bang. And he kept going. 45 minutes later, he could also hear the other woodcutter cutting the wood. But all of a sudden, 45 minutes later, he heard Peter stopped cutting wood. So Jack said in his mind, wow, Peter's tired. This is my chance. Jack kept on going, kept on going. Then the second hour, Jack kept cutting his wood. Peter cut for 45 minutes and then stopped. And then he would start after 15 minutes. This happened for 6 hours. Jack kept cutting wood non-stop for 6 hours. Peter, 45 minutes he'll cut and stop. Then another 45 minutes he'll cut and then stop for 15 minutes. Then he'll cut for 45 minutes and he'll stop for 15 minutes. Jack knew in his mind that he has won the competition. Finally, when the 6 hours were done, when the actual people came to see, Jack was amazed. Peter cut twice more wood than Jack did. And he was shocked. How is this possible? And he went to Peter and he said, listen, I kept cutting non-stop for 6 hours straight. You only cut for 45 minutes and you took a break. 45 minutes and then you took a break. How did you cut more wood than I did? And Peter said it was simple. After every 45 minutes, I was sharpening my axe. I took 15 minutes to sharpen my axe. And then I cut again. Because my axe was sharper, I was able to cut more wood. You see, my friends, in the canny method, constant and never-ending improvement, the second value that you need to add is for yourself. Because if you don't add value to you, you will not be able to add value to other people. So in fact, it is more important that you become a person of value so you can give other people value. I have noticed in our industry, I've noticed in our company, when I listen to some of the leaders speak, they say the same things every single time. So when you hear it the first time, wow, it's amazing. But the second time, okay, it's okay. But the third time, now it gets boring. If you don't continuously add value to yourself, what will happen? You will not be able to add value to your team members. And if your team members don't get value, they will leave you. If you don't continuously add value to other people, you become less valuable and your value decreases. How do you get valuable? You get valuable in body, mind, and soul every single day. You've got to take time to get better in your body, in your mind, and in your soul. And that's the only way you can add value to other people. This is a very powerful statement by one of the greatest investors in the world, Mr. Warren Buffett. And I remember watching his interview, and he said these words: as a billionaire, most people are interested in what types of cars that I drive, instead of asking me what type of books gave me the drive to be successful. Most people are interested in what cars he drives instead of asking what books that he read that gave him the drive to be successful. What books are you reading, my friend? What audiobooks are you listening to? What YouTube videos are you listening to? Are you constantly streaming through social media that adds no value? Or are you reading books? Are you gaining knowledge and making yourself valuable? If that's the case, that is when you can become a leader of addition. A leader who adds value to other people and a leader who adds value to yourself. The two laws of addition, or the law of addition into two concepts. Kenny, constant and never-ending improvement. You see, I said this, we at NeX, we got three founders, Ahmed, Asad, and I. We don't think about doing amazing things every single day. All that we try to do every single day is to add value to our company and ourselves. Now, somebody asked by how much percent? 1%. Can I add value to myself and my company and my team by 1% more than yesterday? Now, if I did that, can I be 1% more than what I did yesterday? Then think about it. If myself, Ahmed, and Nasser, the three of us add just 1% more value than yesterday, then every day we are adding 3% of value. In a year, that is over 1,000% more value than the year before. And that's called compounding. Compounding is adding value, which is why our company today is 1,000% better than our company Nexarize a year before. And Nexarize is 1,000% better than the year before. So in 4 years, we are 4,000% better. In the same way, my friends, your team, your leadership, you, how much more valuable are you today than what you were yesterday and the year before? And that value is based on what goes into your ears, what goes into your bodies. Because Les Brown said this, Les Brown. He talked about the concept of GIGO, GIGO. Garbage in, garbage out. Garbage in, garbage out. If you put garbage inside of you, the only thing that's going to come out of you is garbage. If you add value inside of you, you will be able to give value to other people. And when you add value to other people, when you add value to yourself, the law of addition takes place. So well done for being on this call today. As I summarize, the fifth law of the laws of leadership, the law of addition, is based on the concept of canny, constant and never-ending improvement. What is improvement? Adding value. Who do you add value to? Two people. Other people and yourself. And when you add value to other people and yourself, your leadership rises because of the law of addition. So well done for being on this call, friends. I look forward to seeing you at our next growth session, our leadership mastery series. Go out there, practice this from now onwards, and see your life transform in business and life. Stay blessed. God bless you. Bye-bye.